Manny Pacquiao at the age 46 is coming back. And look at this, man. He still got the speed and power and combinations. He will be fighting Mario Barrios, a Mexican warrior, in Las Vegas. This fight is about to be insane. Pacquiao's coming out of retirement. He's already a Hall of Famer. And look at this. At 46, the man still got it. They say speed and power is the last thing that goes, especially power.
You're looking in tremendous shape. You're ready to fight Barrios tonight and make history, Manny.
Manny, you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
Manny Pacquiao is still going hard in training for Barrios. Despite being 46 years old and 4 years removed from his last official bout, the Filipino legend is showing no signs of taking it easy in the build-up to his return against WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Under the sharp supervision of his longtime trainer Freddie Roach, Pacquiao is putting his body through intense sessions at the Wildcard Gym in Los Angeles, intent on proving that his time isn't up yet. His daily training plan is split into 6 days of hard work, with Sundays reserved strictly for recovery. On sparring days, Pacquiao runs for about 30 minutes on flat ground, focusing on maintaining rhythm and breathing. But when he's not sparring, he pushes himself with uphill road work that stretches close to 8 miles, a throwback to the punishing runs of his prime. That kind of cardiovascular work isn't for show. It's a foundational part of his preparation, and one he's leaned on for decades to build the kind of stamina that once allowed him to throw 1,000 punches in a fight. The gym work remains just as demanding. Pacquiao's day often begins with multiple rounds on the mitts with Roach, where the familiar rhythm between fighter and coach is still evident. After that, it's time for the bags. 15 rounds of work split across the heavy bag, double end bag, and speed bag. On sparring days, he's going full throttle for up to 10 rounds against younger, fresher partners brought in specifically to test him. The idea is not just to sharpen his reflexes, but also to test whether his body can still absorb and respond under fire. But Pacquiao's workouts aren't just about boxing technique. He's deep into strength and conditioning work that's tailored to his age and current needs. Battle ropes are a consistent part of the regimen, helping him maintain explosive power in short bursts.
Manny Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it definitely has to do with money, one. Two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch.
He also uses plyometric routines, jump squats, explosive skipping, and footwork drills to preserve agility and leg speed. Those who've watched him train in recent weeks have noted that the hand speed is still there, even if the legs have lost a half step. What hasn't changed is his legendary core routine. He still finishes every training day with 1,000 sit-ups, a discipline he swore to keep up after losing to Medgo and Singsarat in 1999. It's a brutal tradition, but one that Pacquiao believes keeps his body battle-ready. Core strength has always been a silent weapon in his arsenal, supporting both his punching power and his ability to take body shots.
Oscar's comeback. He's coming back.
Yeah, 40 seconds. Thank you.
For the WBC title at 147.
Thank you so much. I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely.
It's a Mexican brand.
Manny
Quadra.
Pacquiao's
Oscar needs
he's a legend,
some nice ones. Thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it. Yeah.
Basketball remains his favorite form of active recovery, and he still plays several hours per day when he's not boxing, moving up and down the court with the same intent and fire he brings to sparring. His team doesn't worry too much about the risk of injury. It's part of what keeps him mentally fresh and physically agile. That kind of lateral movement, improvisation, and cardio from basketball overlaps nicely with what he needs in the ring. Mentally, Pacquiao is locked in. He has been spending more time reading scripture and reflecting, something he's done for years but now leans on even more in the lead up to fights. Faith has always been central to his life, and this return isn't just about pride, it's about purpose. There's an unspoken urgency in the camp, a shared understanding that if he's going to make history one more time, the foundation has to be perfect.
Fundora went the first time, so I mean, the card from start to finish, it's gonna be fireworks. But I think no doubt, me and Pacquiao, we're gonna put the seal on it, and yeah, man, it's July 19th. It's gonna be a phenomenal.
Chris Algieri, who faced Pacquiao in 2014 and got dropped 6 times, recently said that he wasn't surprised by how flat Manny looked in his exhibition bout against a Japanese kickboxer. He believed Pacquiao didn't train at all for that appearance. But the man he's seeing now in the wildcard gym is different. According to Algieri, there's real work being done. He's been watching the sessions with Freddie Roach and sees more than just nostalgia. There's structure, intention, and technical correction. The camp is focused on refining what's left, maximizing what Pacquiao still brings to the table at 46.
July 19th, what is going to happen?
July 19th is going to be a good fight between Mario Barrios. It's going to be a lot of action, and I'm sure, guaranteed that the fans will be happy.
Do you think he's ready for this, Manny? Because I just saw him out there and he's like, oh. I told him July 19th it's going to be like this times 10. You think so?
Definitely.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Algieri was blunt about the physical realities. There's scar tissue. There are limits. But with Roach overseeing every session, the team is methodically peeling back those limitations and figuring out what tools can still be sharpened. The magic, as Algieri put it, might still be there, but it won't just appear. They're actively hunting for it, testing and adjusting every day. Pacquiao's movement has to be tight, his reaction time has to be reliable, his ability to pull the trigger quickly, especially in counter exchanges, could be the difference.
Ashamed of themselves for sanctioning Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, bro. This is what's wrong. This is one of the things that's wrong with the sport, bro. Straight up, like, this is beneath any sport that's supposed to be professional that wants itself to be taken serious. Manny Pacquiao fighting for a world championship should be beneath boxing, bro. Absolute garbage. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I seen this shit on BoxingScene.com, man. It's talking about I'm back. Back for what?
The fight is loaded with unknowns. Barrios is younger, taller, and far more active in recent years. Pacquiao hasn't fought since 2021, when he dropped a decision to Yordenis Ugas. Whether he can still take the kind of shots Barrios can land is a valid question, especially over 12 rounds. As Paulie Malignaggi put it, this could turn into a strange fight where both men land repeatedly, not because of excellence, but because of shared vulnerability. He thinks Barrios gets hit whether his hands are up or down, and while he's not sold on Pacquiao's current abilities, he's even less convinced that Barrios has the defensive skill or ring IQ to stay out of trouble.
I said it. I mean, at the end, it's a kill or be killed. I know, like if he has been hurt at any point, he's gonna be the same way. Like I said, it's just my job, just to work on everything. Me and my team have been, training and drilling, these last couple weeks, and finish off these next 6, as best as we can, so I could go under come fight night and still retain the title.
But the challenge won't just be landing; it will be sustaining the pace. Fighting hard in round 1 is one thing. Surviving and executing in round 11 is another, especially when you're pushing nearly 50 and cutting weight that used to melt off in your sleep. Barrios, meanwhile, has yet to fully prove himself since winning the vacant title after Terence Crawford moved up. He fought Abel Ramos to a draw, a performance that didn't exactly solidify his claim to the throne. Malignaggi criticized Barrios' form and fundamentals, questioning if he even knows what to do against a southpaw with speed.
When you started boxing, like,
The speed is still there. Woo!
He thinks Barrios needs to focus on throwing the right hand and the right uppercut, especially when Pacquiao lunges forward. But he's not convinced Barrios is teachable enough to make those adjustments. Algieri suggested Barrios should come out fast, hoping to catch Pacquiao before he settles into rhythm. Malignaggi agreed, saying both fighters will likely go through rough patches. The winner may simply be the one who can survive their bad moments better. That's why Pacquiao's camp is focused less on building stamina and more on preserving function. The sessions are long, but they're also smart. There's an emphasis on pacing, punch selection, and timing. If Pacquiao can't move like he used to, he has to anticipate better.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great and a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things?
Meanwhile, Barrios is not in the best form. He secured a draw in his previous fight against Abel Ramos last year. However, as the welterweight champion and favorite for this fight, Barrios knows he can add a major scalp on his resume, even if Pac-Man is not in his prime. Here is how boxing insiders saw the fight playing out. Barrios made several comments about his upcoming bout against Pacquiao, which were included in a June 1st interview from Boxing Scene. "Manny's still Manny. He's a legend for a reason," Barrios was quoted as saying. "I'm preparing as if I'm fighting a prime Manny. It's my job to go in there and defend my title. I'm expecting one of the best versions of Manny. It's another step in my career to reach for those big fights with a name like Manny on my resume."
Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
I am. I'm cool with it. If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was a one-time, one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine with Mario Barrios, who we know what he is on the top level. He comes up short. He's been stopped by fighters that are less than Manny Pacquiao, Tank Davis. So I like this fight. I think he's not going to be an overwhelming favorite.
He later added, "That's the main game plan. Go in there and not let him get his rhythm going. I'm not going to take rounds off. I'll work on our game plan." It has been reported that Pacquiao's team specifically asked for a title fight against Barrios because they believed he was the most beatable champion around Pacquiao's weight class. In addressing this, Barrios said, "Yeah, Pacquiao asked for this fight. He felt my style was perfect for him, but I think he's in for a rude awakening on fight day. I can't wait for everyone to see that. My job is to be victorious and successful, and I have full confidence in my team and what we're doing," he added.
Is there a part of you that feels like he's perfectly suited for you, though, as a fighter, to win?
To win, I think I'm faster than him. My movement, my speed is still there. Nothing lost. Movement, the speed. I can also develop it. So somebody knows that during my training.
Despite the recent draw, Barrios enters this matchup holding the WBC welterweight title and perhaps more crucially, the advantage of youth. At 29, he's nearly 2 decades younger than his opponent and has far fewer miles on his body. Pacquiao is attempting something unprecedented, coming out of retirement at 46 to defeat an active champion and win a world title 4 years removed from his last professional outing. In that 2021 bout, he suffered a decision loss to Yordenis Ugas, looking stiff and flat throughout the 12 rounds. His team would later claim the poor performance came down to inadequate preparation and cramping in his legs.
Mario Barrios, he gotta have the heart to do what Jake Paul was not willing to do. Jake Paul showed Mike Tyson way too much mercy. He had that old man standing in front of him and he should have knocked his head off. Barrios gotta go in there and just retire Pacquiao. Sometimes these old guys, they need the sport to retire them. And out of respect and out of love, Mario Barrios need to go in there and knock his head off, point blank, period. He's too old, and what fans don't understand is these legends, these pros, always gonna look good on the pad.
This narrative of being undertrained has been repeated by Pacquiao himself in recent interviews, including one with ESPN, where he shared how this new training camp is bringing back flashes of the old Pac-Man. "I trained wrong for that fight," he said about the Ugas loss. "My legs began cramping and I couldn't move. He was a very slow opponent, and I couldn't believe that I couldn't move my feet or my legs. But for this camp, I'm back with my longtime trainer, Freddie Roach. The old Manny will be back." When asked about how long he planned to continue, Pacquiao admitted that he hasn't decided yet. The Barrios fight might be a one-off or the beginning of another late career campaign. "I always stay in shape, but once I started seriously working out again, I realized that I still had that passion and ability in me," he said. "I went to my doctor and everything was perfect. My medicals came back great. I feel good and I'm ready to do it again."
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, you know, try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight.
But not everyone in the boxing world is optimistic about his chances. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, the current WBC World Super Flyweight Champion and one of the most respected rising talents in the sport, offered a stark warning about Pacquiao's return. During a May 27th interview with Fight Hub TV, Rodriguez didn't mince words. "I think Mario is going to go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny is a little too old. But I mean, he's a legend, already did what he did, so I don't really see a reason for him to come back."
I think Mario is going to go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that, he has a youth, and, Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back. So just to have him in the ring.
Rodriguez, known for his sharp ring IQ and impressive record of 21-0 with 14 knockouts, doubled down on his view that this fight could end poorly for the Filipino legend. If he wants to get in the ring with Mario, I guess Mario has to show him that he has the youth, and Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired, Rodriguez said.
Being a kid from San Antonio, did you ever think you'd be fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao?
Oh, never. Never. Like, I mean, right, like those are fights you think about in your head as like a dream scenario. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, like being a brown kid from San Antonio, now now facing Manny Pacquiao, defending my title, it's huge. It's huge.
The perspective Rodriguez brings reflects what many younger fighters and analysts feel. Even though Pacquiao's legacy is secure, his return raises concerns about what might happen if age finally overtakes his spirit. For some, like Barrios, this could be a defining moment in their careers, a chance to add a historic name to their resume, no matter how old that name may be. Barrios has something to prove too. While he wears the belt, questions still linger about how he got it and whether he truly earned it against top-tier opposition. He won the WBC interim welterweight title after Terence Crawford vacated the division to move up to 154 pounds, and his defense against Ramos did little to convince doubters. The draw left many wondering whether Barrios could handle pressure from an elite-level fighter, even a faded one.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight, he should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back? You are disrespectful as a champ.
For Barrios, this isn't just about defending a title. It's about legitimacy. A win over Pacquiao, even an older version, would be the most significant moment of his career to date. It would validate his title reign and potentially open the door to bigger matchups and higher profile paydays. Barrios understands the stakes. He's spoken openly about preparing for the best possible version of Pacquiao, not underestimating what a motivated and focused legend could still do inside the ropes. That respect, however, hasn't softened his edge. There's still a quiet confidence in Barrios' tone, a belief that he's catching Pacquiao at the right time, and that his youth, timing, and fresh legs will be enough to wear the 46-year-old down.
Manny Pacquiao automatically gets to come out of retirement and fight Mario Barrios for his WBC. Because Manny Pacquiao is going to show up and do his job. Manny Pacquiao thinks about the fans before he thinks about this fight. The business side of boxing, what they're promoting, what they're selling, they know it's going to be 100% guaranteed of entertainment through Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao can outsell anyone right now.
In interviews, he's maintained that his strategy is centered on taking control early, breaking Pacquiao's rhythm, and not allowing the fight to become a back-and-forth war. "I'm not going to take rounds off," he said. "That's the main thing." His trainer and team share that vision, emphasizing that they expect Pacquiao to come out swinging, but plan to stay disciplined, weather the early storm, and gradually take over. They've studied the patterns of Pacquiao's late career fights, the early blitzes, the angles, the bursts of speed, and believe that if they stay composed, the older man will eventually fade. That theory will be tested on July 19th.
You can't teach speed, you can't teach power. It's God, from God. That's it. People can work on speed their whole life. They're not going to be fast, man.
Pacquiao's team has countered that the very things Barrios is banking on, speed drop-off, slower footwork, loss of conditioning, are not going to be issues this time. Freddie Roach has been vocal in sparring sessions that Manny still has the tools, and that the absence from the ring may have helped him recover physically from years of accumulated damage. He's sharp, Roach reportedly told gym observers. He's looking to hurt someone. For Mario Barrios, the pressure lies in making sure that chapter never gets written. Well, how do you see it? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.